What's up everyone, and welcome to some retro news. The main MiSTer OS and the AO486 core now support the second analog stick on a controller. So far, only AO486 supports this feature, but I can see it being helpful for the upcoming PlayStation core. In AO486, using two analog sticks will be helpful for flight sims. It will allow you to map flight sticks that have separate throttle and rudder controls, which makes flight-based games a lot more fun to play. I've already tested this and it works great. I'll have a video on how to set this up soon, so keep an eye out for it. Tatsutron has done the first public release of his MiSTer mobile app. It's a companion app that offers ways of controlling your MiSTer FPGA from a mobile phone. A cool feature about the app is the ability to search for a game using keywords. This is very helpful if you have a large library of games and want to avoid constantly scrolling. The app is still in its early stages, and the developer has a lot more features planned for the future. Right now, it's only available for Android, but the dev does want to create an iOS port. The September MiSTer Stage Event podcast has interviews with Ace and Blackwine, two core developers for the MiSTer FPGA. They both worked on the Jailbreak Arcade core and also other cores. These stage events are done through Discord and hosted by Artemio, the creator of the 240p test suite for classic consoles. You learn about the lives of the core developers, how they go about developing and contributing to cores, and also answer questions from the audience. Things can sometimes get very technical, but it's always fascinating to learn about MiSTer FPGA development. RetroRGB has a cool interview with David Haywood, aka MameHaze. He's been one of the main MAME developers for over 20 years. If you don't know what MAME is, it's a software emulator that's available on pretty much every device you can think of. Its goal is to accurately document the hardware they emulate. It used to be mostly an arcade emulator, but now they support pretty much any type of hardware. In this interview, you get a little bit of history of the MAME project, its current state, and also David's involvement in it. You may also want to check out his website where he writes a lot about his work in MAME. Analogue, the developers of the FPGA-based classic consoles, have announced Analogue OS. It looks to be an operating system that they are going to be using going forward for all their devices. It has features such as save states, screenshots, gameplay tracking, and an SDK will be available for users to create cores for other systems. From what I've read in their Twitter announcement, it's unclear if their previous devices will support this OS. Classic computers have had independent coders create small demos that show off what the machines can do. These demos can be pretty artistic and feature original music and do things that you would have thought are impossible. That subculture of creating these artistic demos on computers continues to this day and is called the Demoscene. In the September MiSTer Stage Event podcast, I found out about a documentary from 2012 about the Demoscene. Called The Art of the Algorithm, it was created by Moleman and it features interviews with Demoscene developers and also some history about the Demoscene. If you have any interest on the Demoscene, then I highly recommend this documentary. A homebrew developer called Sega68K has been creating some very impressive tech demos that replicate some of the Super NES special effects on a Sega Genesis or Megadrive. These demos aren't new, but I just recently heard about them and they really impressed me. So I wanted to showcase Sega68K's work on one of my videos. There is a demo that replicates the Mode7 effect that's used on racing games such as Mario Kart and F-Zero, and the results are pretty impressive. While the resolution of the 3D feel is lower than what you would get on a Super NES game, it is pretty amazing that this is all being done on the stock Genesis hardware. The Super NES had specialty hardware that will offload the work from the main CPU to handle these types of effects. This demo lets you move freely around in this short Mario Kart style track. With this engine, he used it to develop a Sonic Kart Racer demo. You race around an entire Mario Kart style track. There is collision detection on the road, but not on the sprite-based obstacles. He also has an F-Zero type demo using the same engine. He calls it G0, and you also have an entire track to race around. There are no other vehicles, but there is collision detection on the sides of the roads, and he also added the ability to change camera angles. If you ever thought about playing Wolfenstein on your Sega Genesis or Megadrive, well, now you can because he's done a pretty impressive port of the game. It's not the complete game, but it's very polished so far. The entire first episode is complete with all the enemies, final boss, and final sequence of the episode. The controls have running and strafing. There are several graphic options to give you different looks. There's even a save game feature. The game is smooth and features impressive graphics and sound effects and music. To really appreciate the graphics, play the game on a CRT to see how good it can really look. I really hope some games come out of these tech demos. It's very impressive stuff. Today's homebrew developers proved just how much life the old consoles had in them. We keep seeing more amazing things being done with them. You can try out all these demos out for yourself, so check the description for the download links. So that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to receive future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.